now we're very pleased to be joined by Elizabeth Kincaid-Freed, an activist and founder of Indigenous, spelled Indigenous. Please welcome and start by explaining your Native American background and recent discovery of your Jewish ancestry.
So I was born and raised in Charleston, West Virginia, technically considered a southern state. Growing up, my father said that we were Crow and Blackfoot, cattle ranchers out of Montana. My mother said we were Cherokee out of North Carolina. At some point, while she hid me in Catholic school, she said that we were Jewish. So I equated that to the Holocaust, Russia, Germany, and Yiddish. And then I got into genetic genealogy after my second marriage and discovered that it was actually Sephardic and that we were B'nai Anusim. I'm actually 8 ethnicities and belong to 14 genetic groups. I saw that I had this Native genetic component, but it wasn't Cherokee. There was a tribe called Lumbee, named after the Lumber River, which I was very fortunate to visit the land territory about 2 weeks ago in North Carolina. And that's one of the tribes that was nearly decimated and adopted by the Cherokee Nation, Eastern Band Cherokee.
And you recently discovered your own secret Sephardic Jewish ancestry, as you mentioned. How does this explain your own childhood experience being, as you said, hidden in Catholic school?
And I say she hid me in Catholic school because that has been a custom that I've seen repeatedly, where a firstborn or a child is devoted to the priesthood, or a daughter sent to the convent so that you're appearing as good Christians. However, there were yearly reminders when doing back to school shopping: don't pray with them, we're not like them, that's idolatry. And it growing up and an only child, it doesn't make sense. So you're listening to one message coming in from a parent, and then you're in the throw with this tradition. So that's why I say she hid me, that because I can see these historical accounts where the same thing was done universally throughout the diaspora.
Wow. And you worked with Donald Yates DNA Consultants and found ancestry in the Dominican Republic. How'd you feel when you discovered the truth about what really happened in history?
So after kind of untangling that and then finding out that there was this hidden Jewish ancestry that had been completely whitewashed, like 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And it's like, that is not it at all. I remember being in my father's closet, just searching and yearning for this higher power and this connection. And I'm like doing Hail Marys and nothing's landing, and the Our Fathers and nothing's landing. And at one point during independent study, this thought came: life would be so much easier if I were just born a male so that I could be a Hebrew scribe. Who thinks that? Where does this stuff come from? So definitely there's that epigenetic or blood memory component.
For sure, and spiritual component as well. You've also written a new book, congratulations, and you and your husband are doing advocacy work with your organization Indigenous. Please tell us more about it.
Although I didn't grow up with Indigenous culture in West Virginia, my daughters, once we moved to Michigan, did become involved in the local urban Indian center. And that's where a lot of the history was unraveled. I was very angry about what I discovered that had been erroneously taught in history classes in school. But my husband and I now do, we educate and do advocacy for Sephardic B'nai Anusim with our company called Indigenous, and that's INDIGEWNESS, to highlight this diaspora, this persecution, this hidden identity, stolen identity that's now resurfacing. We're looking to purchase some land in Florida for a Sephardic culinary school. I have a book coming out for Mother's Day called Indigenous: Hiding Out in Plain Sight. All of these little indicators and crumbs along the way leading to this delicious feast of where we are in our reemergence now.
And Elizabeth, why is it so important for you to share the fruits of Indigenous wisdom and imparting the truth to the world?
It's important now because it's the truth. It's the salve that will stop this infestation of this political divisiveness or this otherness or one-upping of or my skin color or your skin color or Indigenous wisdom is a connection to the land, a respect of nature, and not like an ownership or trying to clamp down and control something. It's restoring harmony and balance. I'm very excited for the Anusim who have reached out to me. I'm very excited for my personal future and the lasting legacy for my daughters and future generations coming, because this was stolen from us. We know through the 10 commandments, through legal structure, stealing, theft is wrong. And I'm here doing my part to restore what was stolen.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. And that is all for today's special episode. We sure hope you enjoyed it. It was a labor of love. Thanks again for watching Holy Land Uncovered. Feel free to leave comments on all of our social media platforms, and we will see you next week, same time, same place, for another episode of Holy Land Uncovered. Until we see you again, I hope whatever you do, you will feel inspired.